So we talked about actually different systems present in human body. Let's take an example of plant. Plants have similar functions, and because it needs respiration, it needs digestion, it needs movement or transport of food particles and minerals from the soil up to the stem and the leaves. It bears fruits and flowers. It has reproductive region, that is flower, which has anther and pollen grains. So a typical plant has a system of shoot system. That shoot system is the one which is above the ground. Whatever the portion of the plant is there above the ground is comprising of shoot system. So shoot system is having flower, it has leaves, and it has stem. Then you have the root system, which is beneath the ground. So the root system consists of all the roots and its network. It has root hair cells, which we talked about in previous lectures. And those root hair cells has the function to absorb minerals and water and salt from the soil. It increases the surface area inside the soil so that it can grab as much minerals and salts and water as possible. So there is the underground region of this plant, and there is the above ground region of the plant. Now moving on to how systems combine to form an organism. Take example of human being. Human being has different systems. As we talked about, human has nervous system, human has blood circulatory system because it needs the blood to circulate and other food particles to circulate. It has nervous system because we need to control our different functions. Some are involuntary functions, some are voluntary functions. Then we need a digestive system so that we can derive energy to do work. Then we have support system, that is skeletal system of bones and skulls, so that we have a proper shape and proper structure. Then we have muscular system because we need to move. We are locomotive organism. We are locomotory organisms. We can move from one place to another, so we need a muscular system. Then we respire and take oxygen, so we need respiratory system. So all these systems form different organisms. So similarly, in plant, you talked about shoot system, you talked about root system. Shoot systems have reproductive parts, flowers, because they need to reproduce, they need to grow, and they need to increase their population. And then they have leaf system, which carries out photosynthesis because they have chlorophyll and green coloring pigments. Then you have stem. Stem support the whole structure of the plant above the ground. Then you have root beneath the ground, which takes up the minerals and salts particles. So to sum up, we can say that in complex multicellular organisms like human beings or flowering plant, different cells organize into tissues, and tissues into organs, and organs into systems, and then different systems then make up the whole organism so that they can interact and work together in a coordinated manner. All those systems are coordinated. None of them are standalone. They all coordinate, and for that coordination we have nervous system, which is essential for the function of the whole body, so that they can smoothly run and efficiently work. Similarly, we have different systems in plants as we discussed. So in order to sum up, we talked about complex multicellular organisms in specific reference to human beings and plant cells and plant structures. We talked about there are different types of system: nervous system, respiratory system, digestive system. We talked about how cells combine to form tissues. We talked about flowering plants and their different organs to form and how they are linked together to form systems. We also talked about single organs of animals or maybe humans, like brain. We talked about heart. We talked about kidneys. We talked about lungs, stomach, liver, skin. They have different functions, so they have different shapes, and they are specified because they have a specific functions. Similarly, in plants we have different organs like leaves, stems, roots, and flowers. So a complex multicellular organism differs in its structure, specifically in terms of cells, tissues, and how they are grouped together to form an organs, so that they can perform one or more than one functions. Whereas unicellular organisms or uh, simple multicellular organisms like sponges, they have very simplified structures and systems. That's it for today. Thanks for joining.